right, people, we're here. Submission sessions in session. And you got me, the Don. You know, I'm ready to ref. I'm ready to call it bias or any means necessary. And we got the man over, T Rock. What's up, T
what's
Rock?
what's going on, my guy? With the ref joint on, I see. Okay, call it down the line, though. Call it down the line.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll get that fast count, the slow count, and the no count.
There it is. Put people out.
Get out right. Don't know where they going. Who knows what's going on with them? Hey, but you already know we got some things going on, some things to talk about. But it's been a long 2 weeks or so since the last episode.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah,
The inaugural episode.
yeah. We got quite a few things to talk about right here. So let's just start it. Let's start it off. Why not? And talk about you had a little event that you went to this past week at Ohio Valley Wrestling.
Yes, I did. Man, it was absolutely awesome. They did it at St. Martha Church, Catholic Church. They did it in their gym there. And they sold that gym out. Like there was not an empty seat in the place.
Nice.
They came out and showed out, man. And I'm sure all the wrestlers have really appreciated it. And they put on a really good show. Even as I was talking to one of my guys I was there with, because the company I work for is was one of the sponsors,
Okay.
and he was just like, "Hey, man, this is like wrestling." You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a whole lot of spots and just jumping off things and doing all that. They were actually in the ring wrestling. You
Putting on a
know,
show. Yeah.
putting on a show, telling the story in the ring. Right? It was very good. These guys were excellent. Um, there's probably going to be a couple guys here that are going to move up from here. You know what I'm saying? Once they get a little more seasoning on them, get a little more Lowry's on them, you know. But you know what I'm saying? But yeah, there was actually a guy there, Tony Gunn, who actually, he's a bit older than some of the other cats, but he's made an appearance on AEW
Yeah, I was
TV and
going to
stuff
say,
like that.
I've heard it name.
Yeah, yeah, but teams like that you see in AEW now, like the Outrunners, right? They
Yeah.
start, yeah, they're probably one of the more recent people who've come out of OVW to, to start to become big. But as this stands, obviously OVW has history. Your John Cena's, your Randy Orton's, Batista, Brock Lesnar, Shelton Benjamin.
Yeah.
They even sent folks down for more training. Big Show, Mark Henry. Um,
So who knows?
man, so it's been a really good experience.
All right. I mean, you can't ask for more. A good show, putting on good wrestling show in OVW. We know by the years going past, they do perform. So
Oh, absolutely.
all right. So all right. I'll tell you what. Let's move on to what we got next. So it's been a lot of things going on in AEW. I mean, it's been some time. It's in that they have come a long way from a couple of years, but they do put on a wrestling show. But now their next event they got coming on is Double or Nothing, May 25th. That's just around the corner as we see. So right now they got. I'm trying to think. It's always mostly in a stadium, I do believe. I mean, it's a big stadium. They draw a big crowd. But this year I look at the big main event they looking for. I think there's like the brawl in the arena. They're gonna fight wherever. They're gonna be in the back. They're gonna be in the stadium. They could be in the scaffold. They're gonna be in the stands with the fans. But this year, it looks like John Moxley and his crew are going to be going against now. Where they put this team together, I mean, I don't know who, but John Moxley, Carlio, Wheeler, we got Gabe Kidd out of New Japan Wrestling going against Samoa Joe, Powerhouse Hobbs, Swerve Strickland, and I'm imagining they are going to add somebody else to that. But right now, they don't look like they are sure, or they haven't gave away the secret. But
Yeah, there's definitely a secret on this. Yeah, so
Yeah,
basically, you got what the Death Riders versus the Ops. I think that's what they're
the
calling
ops.
themselves,
That's what it is. The
the
ops.
Ops, which I which I love, which I
Yeah.
absolutely love. Now, see, I'm a huge Samoa Joe guy,
I don't
right?
like.
I love Samoa Joe. He's one of my favorite wrestlers. He is very convincing on the mic. He's very good in the ring, and then when he does his note thing, it's chef's kiss. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, oh my god.
Yeah, when they jump off top rope,
Where
he
they
just walks
jump,
off.
he just walks. I love it.
It is just you just looks at him like, come on now.
Was I
Why
supposed to
would I just
fall for
let you
that?
jump on me? Yeah. Love that. It is so good. I think Joe is one of the best wrestlers in the world.
Oh man,
I
no
think
doubt.
his character is, he can do it all. There's nothing that I don't think he does bad. And that's just my personal opinion. But yeah, I think they are gatekeeping on this last one, is who this surprise is supposed to be. I can't imagine who it would be at this point. Um, but yeah, the next member of the ops.
I had a person in my head who I was thinking about that might come back from injury, but I cannot think of his name right now. I mean, it's like somebody who was been there, who's been fighting against them, who they put out. Matter of fact, I do believe the Death Riders put out. And gosh, what is his name? It's gonna come to me off of the clear blue, but I don't know. Somebody's gonna have to come back. I think it's gonna be somebody we least suspect that's been out for a while that's gonna come back and team up with Swerve and them. But yeah, it should be
Yeah.
a good bloody. You know how AEW
Well,
do.
I know how John Moxley does. If he doesn't get butted, then it's not a match.
Yeah, it's not a match. He's gonna be. Yeah, that's
He's gonna
exactly
bleed
how it
over
is.
everybody.
Right. So let's hit some more AEW. So then it's kind of MJF added to the Hurt Syndicate. Now, this has been dragged, to me, it's been dragged along for a while. They've been hitting at this, and thumbs up, thumbs down. Bobby Lashley, Shane. I mean, I don't. MVPs, like, come on, Bobby. And it's dragged along too much for me. I mean, it's like MJF, show us what you got, and then last week he had to come through and beat a couple people down and show that he can hurt people too. And but at the same time, it's like, come on, y'all could have worked up to this way sooner, or what does this whole thing get to? Because it seemed like, in my opinion, that you know they carried along so much, and I don't think it's even going to last as long as they carried it. I mean, it was took a month
I
for
get
them
it.
to finally get him the thumbs up, and then I think it'll be over within the next month. I don't know what you looking at.
I I agree, because the thing about AEW is they put on really really good matches, but the stories and stuff behind said matches aren't always necessarily there, right? So adding MJF to the Hurt Syndicate is it feels like a stopgap, right? MJF, former champion, blah blah blah. I just truly hope that there's some long storytelling, long term storytelling
Right.
when it comes to this particular situation, because like you said, this might last a month. MJF ulterior motives, and maybe cause the Hurt Syndicate the belts. Who knows where this leads, right?
Mm,
And I
yeah.
hope it leads somewhere, because right now it just doesn't feel like it's going to lead to anything. And so, and it's just weird to me. I mean, ultimately, it's just weird.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But with all that being said, man, AEW just needs to get better at the storytelling. And if this is going to be a good story, then let it be. But until then, I really don't have a lot of confidence as to how the direction of this will go.
Good point. Good point. All right, but another AEW storyline we're looking at right now is FTR hires Stokely. This kind of came out of right field to me because they this is kind of like right after they turned their backs on Edge, took the rated R superstar out. You know, he hasn't been seen for a minute, and then they turn the fans, and after they was getting cheered, then it goes to the point of yeah, whatever. We could do what we want. We are still the best tag team there is in the world, and then the next week they come out with Stokely. It's like, where did Stokely come from? I guess they needed something from him to do, or he's on the books. He's getting paid, so let's give this man something to do. But it just doesn't seem like a mix to me at first. But maybe they'll just carry on me because I like FTR. FTR is one of my favorite, as they are one of my favorite tag teams out there right now.
Yeah, I agree. I was really high on them when they were in WWE as the Revival.
Mm,
Like I was a huge fan, especially when they were in NXT because they had banger
yeah,
matches.
yeah,
With Authors of Pain and DIY. I thought they were fantastic,
yeah.
fantastic, and I still do. I still do. I still think they're good. I'm trying to understand why Dax always seems to get single matches, but that's neither here nor there at this point. Uh, Stokely is interesting in the fact that he's really, really good on the mic, right? That's what he does. I mean, even his little small short stint in the WWE and NXT was, what I'm saying, was really good and all that kind of thing too. But again, it's one of those things where I feel like it's being a mix and match kind of situation, right? I understand he's on the payroll. I understand all this stuff, but you got to add something else. Something else has to be added, and to make this all work for me anyway. Because I mean, all you got is a mouthpiece, which is honestly what managers do. That's all they do is speak. But I never had the FTRs never had a problem speaking for themselves.
That is true. I
So
mean,
is it? Yeah, is this just the next level up? You know what I'm saying? From okay, we're heels now, so we're not going to talk to you. We're going to have this guy talk to you.
very true,
I don't
very
know.
true. I mean,
I don't know.
who knows? Like I said, this who knows where they're going with this and how far it's going to go. But hey, it's always something. And like I said,
Always.
AEW is always a question mark when it comes to these storylines. So hey, we shall see.
Will they
So
show up?
what we got going on next, ladies and gentlemen? We got a new segment, and it's called "The Next Indie Wrestler to Watch Out For," or to watch, as I should say, with T Rock. T Rock, who you got for us to watch out for?
Well, let me preface my pick by saying that a lot of your indie promotions aren't as obviously you can watch them on YouTube and things of that nature. Were a lot more used to be a lot more accessible before, say, WWE, AEW started buying some of them, right? So technically, they're still indie promotions, but some of the wrestlers you have seen on main rosters of both wrestling companies. So with that being said, and I feel like everybody, this is probably a no duh situation, but I feel like everybody should also feel that El Hijo del Fankingo is going to be the next big thing happening in wrestling. And the reason why I say that is because he put on a banger match with Kenny Omega before Kenny Omega went out, I'm saying, for his for his extended injury hiatus. But the dude is a spot master. And here's the thing. I know some people, don't like all the flippy stuff and all that stuff, and I
Right,
get it. I am right there with you. But the flippy stuff that he does is part of his arsenal. It's not just doing stuff; it's what he does. If that makes sense, right?
right. I got you.
Yeah. So I think now that since and he was a champion in AAA. He's been a champion in other different indie promotions, none of which probably anybody knows, Dreamwave and I'm saying, some other stuff again. But mostly, what's more important is where he's done in AAA, right? So he's been a AAA champion. Let's see, hold on, and he's been on some other indie stuff. But let's see, he was the AAA Mega Champion and a two-time Trios Champion with Laredo Kid and Mastiza. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but anyway, Junior as a trios champ. So again, small accomplishments, but you know what I'm saying, he's I don't think he's been wrestling since 2000. I don't know, he's been right maybe wrestling about 10 years, I'd say. But he's been on Impact. He has been on MLW, which is Major League Wrestling. That's where Jacob Fatu was prior to him going to the WWE. He's been in GCW, which is Game Changer Wrestling, which is where currently you got your some other indie places people that are coming up. Matt Cardona's there,
Mac.
aka Zack Ryder.
Right.
You got some hardcore people there too. You know, that's kind of what they do there. Nick Gage and stuff like that. He's also wrestled AEW, ROH, Progress, AAA. He's done another stint in TNA. You know, now that it's TNA and not Impact now, and he's going to do some WWE stuff. I think he's going to fit in perfectly with Penta, Ray Phoenix,
Ooh,
that
yeah.
that whole line of things. And it's really when it's about the WWE engine, it's how they're going to push you, right? You saw what they've done with Penta. As soon as Penta come in, he's got crazy pyro. You know what I'm saying? He's got that look, and it's fantastic. He's got his thing. It's just it's fantastic. So I feel like they can do El Hijo del Vikingo the same way, right? He is a star, and they will make him a star.
I love it. And it's so funny, like you said, when you brought him up, I was thinking of, and when I saw the picture, I was like, hold up, that's the guy that was right there at WrestleMania when they announced Triple A is signed with WWE, and he's butting heads, shaking hands, and shoulder to shoulder right with Triple H. So you already know Triple H, they got something planned for it, and they like what they see, and we know WWE can make things happen. So I
Mm-hmm.
was, and with Penta and Ray Phoenix, and you seen like you said when Penta came in, how quick he got, going and in the spotlight and on the show. And Ray Phoenix, heck, he was on the show for 2 weeks and he was in WrestleMania. So
Right,
heck, who knows what can go on with AAA when they get
right,
them
right.
going.
Right,
Hey,
right. It's going to be interesting, since they're kind of bringing back factions a little bit now in WWE, because that was a thing for a while where, especially with Vince, he didn't want to deal with factions and stuff anymore. So, and that's all AEW has is factions, pretty much. So,
very true, very true. All right, appreciate for the update. Thank you, sir.
yes, sir.
All right, next up, let's talk about the recent Stars release from the WWE. I mean, they had the recent Stars they had released, and it as in them let's say let me start right here. As in since 25 has started, 2025 has started. WWE has released a total of 28 superstars now. And you would say that's a lot, but that's how WWE rolls. But the
They
last
do.
time they released these superstars, the last couple they released, we're gonna say some of the top. I mean, some like Braun Strowman, Shane Baszler, Gigi, Gigi Dolan, Eddie Thorpe, Dakota Kai. I mean, Quarter J. I mean, it's been quite a bit of wrestlers. I mean, some of the top wrestlers, and there was on the on the spotlight as in the SmackDown and Monday Night Raw. And the funny thing about it, last week or might have been the week before, I was reading about Braun Strowman where he got released, but he's going to come out on a WWE television show talking about Braun Strowman's going to be traveling the country, and the show is called All You Can Eat, and he's going to be going to different restaurants, seeing how much of their menu he can eat at one time. But he was released for wrestling. Uh,
Well, I mean, you can still be a personality
right.
and not necessarily be. You know what I'm saying? Now, is this going to be on? Is this on WWE TV, or is this just going to be his own independent thing with a different company altogether?
Uh, I thought. Might be like something on might be like on Peacock or something like that, or
Okay,
Netflix. It's something on the nature.
okay, yeah, because I can see it. He's got a good personality. He's good. But like as far as I'm concerned, some of these releases, because my understanding is, and I read this somewhere, and it could not very well be true, but since it's got released for the second time, Braun is probably just going to retire from wrestling.
Mm. I,
So I'm not. I don't think that's a bad thing, you know.
yeah, he has been had a
But
couple injuries.
yeah, but my whole thing is some of the other people that they let go, like Dakota Kai. Why let Dakota Kai go? You know what I mean? Obviously, they have their reasons. Eddie Thorpe, he was just starting to break through,
Yes.
and you let him go. Jakara Jackson, she had that tag team with Last Legend, you know.
Ooh.
And what happened was, heck, they had Tatum Paxley and Gigi Dolan as a tag team, and now Gigi Dolan's gone. You know, I think the what upsets me more than anything, as far as these releases, is they release Mark Coffey, Joe Coffey, and Wolfgang
Mm-hmm.
Gallus. I loved Gallus. I thought Gallus was fantastic, and they should have already been called up. I thought, I mean, they looked a role, they played a role. I don't know why they got released. Maybe they asked for their release. Who knows, right? But I really feel like they should have gotten there. Danny Palmer, she didn't get off the bench for real before they let her go.
Very true.
You know, they called up Blair Davenport and then didn't play her. You know what I'm saying?
Called up to the league.
They're called up.
Didn't
So
get a
it's like,
call in.
she at the end of the bench. Uh, I'm glad they let Cedric Alexander go because now
Yeah.
he can go do his thing. Hopefully, he'll. I know he'll come out on the side. He's a fantastic wrestler. Luke Gallows, Giovanni Vinci, Sonya Deville, Electra Lopez. I mean, they let Electra
Ooh.
Lopez go
They
at
let
LWA.
you look. Yeah, I don't know about that one. Actually,
Oh
Lopez.
no, man.
Man.
Yeah, dude.
Oof.
I don't know, dog. I don't know. But here's what I do know that obviously they're going to be okay. And what I do also do know is now that they have a partnership with TNA, some of these wrestlers can seek solace and that they're there. Instant Indy Hartwell,
Yeah, that's very
she
true.
is now on the TNA roster. So some of these can look somewhere. Again, that's what they want to continue to do, obviously. But heck, some of these folks, like I said, Danny Palmer, she might go somewhere and get a little more seasoning on her, and then they call her back up and says, "Hey, why don't you come on back?"
I can see that. I can definitely see that. Yeah. And it's funny about you mentioned India Hartwell. I can't think of what promotion it is, but she's already got a title.
Yeah, she's in TNA.
That would it. Yeah, but I swear I thought she had a title in a different promotion. That's all
Oh,
I was thinking. You know how
maybe
that
I don't
goes.
know. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like
yeah,
the how your boy was having titles. Forget. I'm not even gonna break my neck trying to remember who it is. But anyway,
yeah.
yeah, it
But I
happened.
think WWE is basically one of the main, if from what I can tell, that doesn't let other wrestlers go out and do any kind of indie kind of things, right?
All right.
You work for WWE, you work for the WWE. That's it. AEW lets you go out and do indie shows. And from what I can see, just looking through rosters and stuff, TNA might be doing the same thing because their women's champion Masha Slamovich is going to be in a GCW show. So we'll see.
All right. All right. All right, people. So after that, we wrap it up. We talking about what's just happened a couple of weeks ago, and that was WWE Backlash. Just a little bit of a thoughts about the Backlash. I wasn't, to me, it takes quite a bit to satisfy me in these pay per views that they put on with people. I guess you'd say that pay good money, especially to go to. You pay good money to even to watch it. Even if you're watching on your Netflix and your Peacock, whatever, you still play in the premium. So when it gets down to it, Backlash, uh, it could have been a Saturday night main event to me. It could have been I mean, to me, the best match was the was that the is that the Night of Stakes with Jacob Fatu? Jacob Fatu, Drew McIntyre, L.A. Knight, Damian Priest. That was one of the best, and I can't take it away from the ladies either. I tell you, Laura Valkyrie, she's she's gaining ground with me, just like Io Sky. Io Sky. I see. I'm learning. I was I was there. I was there. The Io Sky was doing her thing.
Yes, there you
So
go.
they
She's one of the best in the world.
right. They are gaining ground on me. But Backlash, and I definitely that Randy Orton John Cena match was blah. It was just like,
Mm,
yeah, y'all could did much better than this. Especially
yeah,
y'all could
yeah,
redid a match y'all did 15 years ago and been better than this.
yeah.
But
I felt it was a nostalgic match. You know what I'm saying? It brought back a lot of nostalgia for
that's probably
folks.
why. Mm-hmm.
Um, I feel like the same way. The Fatal Four Way was a good one. Um, you have fantastic wrestlers in there. Um, and then the women's match with Lyra and Becky. You know, I think it's WWE as well as Becky doing Lyra a solid, trying to put her over. Right? She already beat her. You know what I'm saying? For the I think was it no for was it NXT? She got
Yeah,
Becky
that was
had
in
it
it.
and she ended up getting
Mm-hmm.
it back for a little bit. Yeah. So this is all a big thing to try to get her put over because when she comes out, there's no pop, right? And for those who don't understand what pop is, that's when people, cheer for you as you come out or boo for you as you come out and how loud that thing is. And when she come out, it's virtually none. Okay, people clap, they like her and all, but until they're gonna have to strap a rocket to her for her to get present. And part of that is having her beat Becky, right? I think she's gonna have to beat a couple other people,
Mm-hmm. I feel you.
but to get past that thing. But yeah, she's gonna put on Becky, and then I have L.A. Knight and Damian Priest and Drew basically, help put over Jacob is fantastic. Jacob is a beast himself. Like that guy is
Phenomenal.
phenomenal. He really is.
Yes, sir.
And so to know that you're going into that match and you know you're not going to win that belt, but you go in there and you do your job and you make your money and you put on a heck of a match, man. That's professionalism to the nth degree, man.
Most definitely. I definitely agree with you with that. With Jacob and all that. Man, he's a
Yeah.
beast, no doubt. The
Yeah.
what is it? The werewolf? What they
Samoan
the
Werewolf.
Samoan werewolf.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He's fantastic. And Pat McAfee still got bruises on his chest.
Woo. Hmm. All right, people. So we could get off of backlash, but we are going to talk about this past Monday when Raw was in the Yum Center. And let me give you a little update. The Don Hurd was sitting in the best seat that I've ever had in my life. I've been to many, many, many shows throughout my years growing up and everything else. I was 4 rows, or should I say five, but four. I was sitting in the fifth from the ring, and it felt so great. I mean, me and the missus was there. It was exciting. We was in the back, just it was all that it meant to be. When you paying, you put that good money out. You pay for a little something, something every once in a while, and you take in everything. It was like before it had to take it in and felt all of it. And when it started getting crowded, it was a sight to behold. I mean,
Yeah.
the especially starting off, you had your couple of dark matches in before, and one thing I'm kind of disappointed in WWE, Karen Cross should be further than what he is. He shouldn't be wrestling in no dark matches before the show myself, but I think the crowd is really taking to Karen Cross now. Karen Cross, he's getting cheered more and more. I'm seeing, and before they gave before I keep going, but rest in peace to the some oh my gosh, what's my guy? I
Oh,
can't. Sabu. Why is it? For some reason I'm about to say the Sandman. I don't know why I just had the S in my head. I'm about to say Sandman. I ain't gonna put you out no farther right now, but Sandman, my bad. But hey, Sabu, rest in peace, my brother. And
yeah.
Karen Cross had a little dedication to him after the match was over, but other than that, you had uh CM Punk start off early. Them getting a big fight right there. It was going nice. You got Seth Rollins. You had Braun Breaker. You had Jay Uso. Jay Uso. I'm telling you, if he is not the most over player right now going, he had the whole Yum Center like there was a Louisville game spanking Kentucky right there, right now. I
Ah,
mean, the Yum Center was out of control, yeeting all over the place with my yeet shirt on. And it was when he came out and just walked down a couple of steps and picked up a little kid, and the kid was on beat, rocking with the yeet too. It was great. It was great in there.
oh
Whew.
yeah, dude. That sounded like fun, man. I watched it from afar.
Yeah, from afar.
From afar, but man, dog, yeah, I had the pleasure of going to, let's see, wasn't a great seats, but I had the pleasure of going to Judge was it 2000 Judgment Day 2000, I think that's what it
Mm,
was when I was here. I was kind of at Freedom Hall, I was kind of up in the rafters, but then I also had the pleasure of being ringside for both Raw and a SmackDown back around the Attitude Era.
and that's whew.
Yeah, dude. Like one, I was like second row, right next to the ramp, and then front row right across from the camera. So every time the camera go across, you could see me. It was great. It was great, and obviously I had front row for AEW show when they were here,
Mm,
and that was fantastic too.
yeah. That's my next
Yeah,
stop. My next
yeah.
stop is front row.
The closer you get, it's yeah, it gets even better because then you can yell at them,
Yeah.
stuff like that. I got my yell on a little bit. Yeah,
I had a
yeah,
good yell at Becky when she was out there. I had a good yell at her. I think she
yeah.
turned and looked, and all the people right in front of me was laughing. I was like, dang, I wanted that make TV.
Yeah, you gotta talk your stuff to them a little bit. You know what I mean?
Right.
You don't want to be disrespectful, but you gotta let them know. You know what I mean? I don't like you, or I like you.
All right, people. All right, so let's move on. We're gonna move on to what else is going on in the wrestling in WWE real quick, and we got this right here. I'm like, what's the whole scenario, or what's going to come up about this? How long is this going to take? And especially, we got Jacob Fatu, Solo Sokoa, and I don't even want to call him this new name. I'm sticking with Jeff Cobb. I'm not going with this JC Mateo. Really?
Okay, okay.
It just doesn't even fit to me. Just
Oh yeah,
yeah, it just doesn't. But
yeah. I'm
what do you
with you.
think they doing with this? What you think? Where you think they going with it?
Uh, uh, Jeff Cobb is Jacob Fatu's replacement. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? What he tell old boy? I'm off the leash now. I'm
Yeah.
on gas, no brakes now. You know what I'm saying? And he told him, yeah, I'm gonna go out here and win this title with or without you. You know what I'm saying? He's telling them, look, I don't really need y'all to do what I'm doing.
Very true.
And so this is Solo Sikoa's way of reminding him that, you do need me. I got this other guy here that sure as heck doesn't mind and you know, uh, uh, doing what I ask him to do. And so eventually this is going to lead to a Jacob Fatu Jeff Cobb match, which is going to be
Ooh,
phenomenal.
gosh.
Phenomenal. Because I remember when Jeff Cobb was doing Lucha Underground stuff, and I was like, wow, this dude here he's yeah. And then he did a few matches here and there in AEW, man. But yeah, he's a big, strong, athletic dude. We're talking about a big dude like that can also do a standing backflip and all kind of stuff. It
Yeah.
will be a damn good match, Jacob Fatu and Jeff Cobb. I guarantee you. What a Big E, I was talking about two big men just slapping me.
That's a big E dog you talk about.
Yeah.
That's
So that's what
crazy.
that's gonna be. Two big men just slapping me.
And you just seen Jeff Cobb do. I just seen him do that backstanding backflip when he picked up a win against LA Knight just last
Mm-hmm.
night. I mean, well, Friday night. Yeah, Friday
Right
night.
now,
So
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I see
Two,
more to
two
come out
athletic
there.
big men. Oh yeah,
Right.
it's gonna be a story.
All
This is definitely
right.
going to be a story. This is the next step. So
Right. So next we looking at so we got Saturday night main event coming up this coming Saturday, May 24th. So it's gonna be a big wrestling weekend for some. I mean, get I guess a big wrestling week because there's a lot of stuff going on.
yeah,
So with Saturday night main event, we have a couple. Let's just show you a couple of matches that they got highlighted and keep on going from there. Just go over it a little bit, just a few. So I guess we'll start right here. Why not? We'll start with R-Truth versus John Cena. R-Truth's childhood hero, John
mm.
Cena. Uh, what you think? Where they going with this? What's the outcome?
Shenanigans,
like,
shenanigans. There is no world that we live in where it's going to be like R-Truth and John Cena is not going to be shenanigans. I mean, it's either going to be a squash match. I mean, R-Truth may get some things in there, but the whole time he's going to be, doing this R-Truth thing and having to fight his childhood hero. You know what I'm saying? Feeling some kind of way about it. It's gonna, but it just I can't see that it doesn't make sense to me for this to end on a clean pin. And even if it does, it's got to be some shenanigans afterwards because it doesn't
right.
make sense for it not to be. Randy Orton coming back out or something like that. You know what I mean? It's got to be something else going on. Got to be.
I understand that because I'm looking for R-Truth to do hold this thing. I mean, it just cracked me up just watching the interview he had just a couple nights ago. And he was just like, come on, who was there back in the day when saying, when you wanted to give up? John Cena was there. Talk about never give up. Who was there?
Yeah.
He was
Like,
like,
come
come
on.
on, man. It's hilarious, but this man, R-Truth, is just a comedian that he's been in WWE, and you cannot uh but love R-Truth. I mean, I don't know how can you not like R-Truth? I mean, because he's just that character. He's always been
Right.
that character, but it's funny enough. But
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Yeah, shenanigans has got to happen.
it's
If
gonna be.
shenanigans, yeah, if shenanigans don't happen, I'm going to be highly disappointed.
Oh man! So we got what's up next? We got the Seth Rollins Braun Breaker versus CM Punk and Sami Zayn. Now this might get interesting because they
Yeah.
already teasing the Sami Zayn turnabout, but they just teasing it. So I'm like, is it really going to happen? Is Sammy going to cross the crossroads? Is he going over with the hills, or is he going to stay faithful? So I don't know. Don't know. I don't see Sammy turning
I do.
really.
I do. He don't like CM Punk either.
No, no. Does anybody like CM Punk? No.
Yeah, there's a couple people here and there. You know what I'm saying? Do they really matter? Probably not. But he doesn't like CM Punk either. You know what I mean? And him making the heel turn again will keep him relevant because there's no way in hell he should have missed WrestleMania. But they should this heel turn should keep him relevant again. My personal opinion. It doesn't make any sense any other way. So
Yeah. It just seems like because I'm waiting for the next guy. Myself, they just need that one more guy to join them. And I'm waiting. I'm trying to say, is it going to be Sammy? Is it going to be Drew? Is it going to be, I don't know, somebody out at NXT or somebody we least suspect? Is it going to be, gosh, what's your boy? Austin Theory? I mean, I don't know. Should they bring Austin Theory back in the mix? Because I'm just saying, he's useless right now.
yeah, that could very well. It could very well.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Sammy will turn, but I can see the heel turn, and for me, it just makes sense.
It does. It kind of does. Yeah. All right. All right. So we got this next one. This next one might be a little interesting. They've been going at it for a while. Got a steel cage match with Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre. So this is going to get
Yeah.
interesting because these guys has been battling, and these are two big bodies going at each other.
Right.
And
Two former
they
champions.
former champions. I mean, you cannot take a back seat on this match at all because this will be a damn good match, to put it plain and simple. I mean, especially in a cage match, because really I don't see nobody interfering. I don't see too much, shenanigans going on. Could it be like maybe a cheer might enter some type of way under the ring? All depends how they're gonna have this cage set up. Will it be space in between the ring and the cage where you could do a little something, something, maybe something underneath, or because are it just gonna be all out Donnybrook, as they used to say, battle?
Right. I think it's just going to be a great battle. I don't think anybody loses if they lose this match either. So if
Very
Damian
true.
Priest lose, I don't think it's going to hurt him, nor do I think it'll hurt Drew. I think this is a really good matchup. I'm liking it. I like it a lot. I hope there's no shenanigans going on. I hope there's a clean pin. But steel cage tends to attract folks. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you now. This match right here, I wouldn't be the guest referee for this match because I think I'll be hit. They about to knock me down and everything else.
Oh
Bring the
yeah,
Don out. I'll be standing outside the cage and counting something
oh
like,
yeah.
ring the bell, something like that. Ring the bell. I don't see it. All
See, I hear.
right. Right. Come on.
Bring the bell.
So we got for the for the world title, the champion right now, Jay Uso versus Paul Logan, the
Logan Paul.
entertainer, YouTube sensation, superstar Paul Logan.
Logan
So
Paul.
Logan, oh, did I get it? I did, didn't I? I tell you, I swear. And then
That's what
I'm
happens
looked
when you
at this,
got two
I'm
first
reading it.
got two
Right.
first names.
I swear, because the thing is, I'm reading it,
It's all
and
good.
at the same time I'm putting it up, and I don't know why I hear Paul Logan. But yeah, but y'all know where I'm talking about. That man,
Yeah.
Paul Logan.
Said
Logan
Paul Logan.
Paul. Y'all know. But yeah, it should be a very interesting, because the thing is, Logan Paul has come a long way from where he started. And with that, I got to give him, because um he's had jumps as in his progression, because it's like he's almost meant to do this.
Yeah, yeah.
And you
He's athletic.
right, the man is definitely athletic. So with that being said, it should be a good one. I mean, I'm looking for a good match. Logan Paul does great spots for what we've seen before, and
Yeah,
hopefully
got a
this will
great
open
finisher.
up Jay Uso's wrestling, where with more kind of techniques going in this, and more athletic, I guess you'll say, moves, and some strategic moves going into it. Maybe not too much because of Logan Paul's athleticism, but at the same time, he can wrestle. He's come a long way to do it.
Yeah, yeah. Logan Paul's just a very athletic dude. You know what I'm saying? He's got a great finisher. The Polarizer. It's a fantastic finisher.
Polarizing.
I,
I
I,
like the name.
yeah, yeah. It's great, great. Um, this is just obviously, he's going to probably have help from some of the homies to try to help him win this match. Always does. Every match, it happens. I don't think it's going to go through. I think, likely, excuse me. I think Jimmy is probably going to come through, try to help out if some shenanigans go down in this match, which likely will. I think Jay will retain because, like you said, he is like the most over WWE wrestler at the moment. And if he loses to Logan Paul, WWE will lose their universe will lose their minds, and possibly they might lose some viewers. He
Right.
cannot lose to Logan Paul. You know what I'm saying? People like AJ Styles and them can afford to do so. They've been in the business a long time. It's the way they pass. That's why you pass the torch down to the next generation of people, of young wrestlers. But yeah, Jay is going to win this. There definitely going to be some shenanigans because there's not been a Logan Paul match where there wasn't somebody dressed up in a prime bottle costume or somebody jumped over the barricade and kneeling down to hand him some, I'm saying, put some, brass
The
knuckles. It's
brass
always,
knuckles. That's what I was thinking.
yeah, what I'm saying. I show speed might show up. There's just no telling. I mean, hell, he's had, Therese Halliburton in his corner, Patrick Mahomes. You know what I mean? It's just like it's a thing. You know what I mean? So again, I expect shenanigans in this thing, but I think Jay's still going to retain.
Well, I know one thing. Jay don't have no Patrick Mahomes in your corner. But I mean, a winner will have a winner. So okay, I guess. I mean, heck,
Oh no, I'm saying Logan Paul. Logan Paul had him.
oh, Logan Paul had Patrick.
Yeah, yeah.
Did
He was at one. I think it was a Raw. I think. Yeah, yeah. He was Patrick Mahomes was sitting in the crowd, and yeah,
he did. He did that time. Okay,
yeah, yeah.
so
You're
that's
welcome.
another reason why I don't like Logan Paul. But yeah, I think yeah. With all that said and done, yeah, it should because it's Saturday night main event. So they haven't done one in a while. So it's I guess it's going to be somewhat entertaining. So they're going to have
Yeah,
something's going to happen, and I do expect for one of his boys to be there, and those prime bottles are always sitting over to the side, so you never know.
yeah. Never know. We
Never
shall
know.
see.
All right, people. So that's all from Saturday night main event. So I want to tell you, this is something new that I thought. Bring a little segment. It's called Do You Know? Now, it's just a little info on a wrestler or from back in the day, their history or something of the nature. And myself, I just did a little research and thought, did we actually know this about this guy? So the guy is Mark Calloway, aka The Undertaker. Now, did you know that The Undertaker played high school basketball back in Houston, Texas at a Waltrip High School? Back then, the man was already sitting at 6'8". He went on to play at Wilson Magnet High School. He averaged 5.8 points a game, 8 rebounds a game. Then he went on to play at Angelina College in Lufkin, Texas. So, the man stays in Texas. And that was back in 1983. Then he goes on. Let me tell you this. Went to play at Texas Wesleyan University back in 1986. He played for shortly before he dropped out and went to pursue his wrestling career. Hmm.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Undertaker.
I knew it was a baller.
Yeah.
I didn't know
And,
the other where schools, but yeah, I knew he balled.
and another just an interesting fact because since where he was balling down there in Houston, Texas at some time, back in 1983, he went to play some pickup ball with the guys in the summertime. And I'll be damned who he played against. It was Fly Slammer Jammer back in the day. He was playing against those guys, button up boards against Hakeem and all the rest of them. And yeah, that was the days. He was out there, big body against big body. But yeah, he said he couldn't hang though.
Yeah, yeah, that's what he said. He
He
said he also played with them too, and he said
yeah.
he threw Hakeem an alley oop, and he said it was the worst alley oop throw ever. And he said Hakeem caught that sucker, threw it down, and he said he was running back down the court. He said Hakeem looked at him and said, "Good pass."
So I was
Like
gonna
he said, it was the worst pass ever known to man.
You gotta love it. But it's like, bro, the Undertaker, but now, hey, how many years later it is. Woo.
Yeah, telling you dog.
Oh man. So look, that's it's about a wrap. and we get to the final thoughts. So, what you thinking, T Rock? Is in what's coming up in the wrestling world? Any thoughts you have on any particular person, or what you looking forward to coming up?
I think my overall thoughts is about the industry itself. Wrestling has its ups and downs, its ebbs and flows. That's the way it works, right? Right now, it's on the top. Now, I'm curious to see how they maintain that level of success of where they are. Obviously, bringing in new wrestlers and great stories and all that stuff that always plays a hand in it. But it's I don't want to see it go back down. It's got to maintain some kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of where I'm at with just wrestling in general, right? You have these your bigger companies. The AEW is still buying up, like I said, ROH. Then you have WWE buying out AAA, and having a partnership with TNA to basically which is especially with TNA gives you especially your developmental talent another way to go out there and display most of their skills before they go to a Raw, SmackDown, or wherever that looks like. But again, you know the way they're doing everything seems to be fine, developmental and all that stuff. But when you bring up your Trick Williams and your other folks, I mean, heck, Carmelo Hayes got pulled up, and they got him working with the Miz now, which is not a bad thing.
Right.
But he needs a good story because he's really good in the ring. So eventually, I'm sure it gets to all that. But I just want to make sure everything still maintains where it needs to be. That's my only concern and thought about everything for real.
Yeah, because right now, like you said, it's high. Everything's high right now. It's wrestling looking really good right now.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see here. Let's step over to the women's division right now. Oh, overall, women's division right now is looking really good, and I'm talking about like you got your Tiffy time. She has come a long way. I love watching the wrestle right now. She's having some great matches. Just even the match she just had a couple days ago against Nia Jax, that was great. I mean, you got uh, Jada Cargill. You got golly, I can keep on going. Charlotte Flair is back in the mix. You got Alexa Bliss back. You got even though I don't even know why they did the tag team titles like that. Kept it on the Judgment Day's women like that, but
Mm-hmm.
and let her go off and film and then gonna come back. But at the same time, but everything's running smooth. You have some good matches.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, right now, yeah, you can't complain about it. Even all around. I think even NXT has plenty of women that's gonna. Uh, uh, we know who our number one NXT woman is though, Miss Parker. Miss Miss Parker, the
I'm
number.
sure for reasons that are other than wrestling,
Well, her
but
wrestling's tremendous,
yeah, yeah.
tremendous.
Because right now they don't brought up the prodigy.
Yeah,
She's main roster now. So yeah, they have a very
yeah,
strong NXT has a very strong women's division. So I'm not really concerned about when they get called up. My only concern is when they get pushed, like Lyra. So,
yeah.
but yeah, they have a great women's division.
Yeah. So I mean, with that, I'm just looking for all the young blood, because it feels like now it's almost to that transition where, like we were just talking about on one of our other shows, we must say on 54 Sports Network, but where the youth are starting to transform and be the next thing, and they're showing that as in you got the teams like in the NBA are showing where the youth are taking over, and their teams are
Mm-hmm.
getting now the youth in wrestling are getting to that point like, hey, push out the old, here comes the new. So
Yes, sir.
looking good,
Agree.
looking
I
good.
agree. Absolutely, I agree. 100.
All right. So hey, with that being said, anything else you want to say to the people, Trap? T Rock, I mean, my bad.
No, it's all good, man. Hey, everybody have a fantastic week. We shall be seeing you soon. And I'm probably gonna go hit some golf balls after this.
See, the man got golf on his mind. Myself, I'm about to chill, sit back, wait till game 7 starts. And with that being said, you know, It's a submission session where we put you in a chokehold and make you tap out until myself. I'm gonna count you 1, 2, 3. It's submission session, and we out. Peace.